Thank you, Mrs. Gordon. Use this opportunity to say welcome back to session two. I hope you had a very good lunch break, and so you are refreshed yourselves, and you have used the bathroom and all those sort of things as we enter now into our second phase of afternoon session. And remember that you will be marked for your afternoon session. So we please, if your neighbors have not returned to class as yet, please encourage them to return to class on YouTube and on Zoom as we have some more important things to share. Social distancing and physical distancing, please. Right? Share as you can. Right? Um, we're still awaiting persons to join. Mr. Gordon, can you send in the PTA group that we have resumed, please? Oh, it's for resumption. RESUMPN, resumption of session. Okay, persons are coming on. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed your lunch break and that you are ready again for this exciting afternoon portion of our virtual day at school. And at this time, I'm going to invite someone to come to you, someone you know very well. I know you miss him, right? You miss hearing his voice, and he's here, ready and willing to talk with you, to share with you now, and to tell you what's going to happen later on today. Please make way for Mr. Gary Clark, our Head of Humanities Department.
Good afternoon, students and parents. This is my first time interacting with you via this medium, and I welcome you. I am also one of those who would rather have face-to-face contact, but due to the pandemic, we have to create or devise more creative ways of engaging you. Now, one of the main activities for the second period is just to apprise you of your current grade placements. All right, and I have with me some teachers who will assist me in doing this task. We'll be starting with the grade 7s, and we will inform you of your class, the class's name, and you will know your classmates. So you can start interacting on the platform as soon as you get the information. Now, lists were published prior to this, however, we have made some adjustments, so you might have a few changes from the previous list. We have new members joining us. Welcome to our new members, our transfer-ins. And we also might have a few students who would have find themselves we more the best. All right, so we will start with our grade 7s, and the grade 7 list is ready. And I will now at this time share with you the grade 7 students. All right, so I will start with the first group, and then I'll have to my colleague who will continue the reading of the list. 7S, and this class is headed by Miss Newby Henry, or Mr. T. Newby, sorry, I'm mistaken. Mr. Newby. So Mr. T. Newby will be the form teacher for 7S. And the list is as follows. Rashid Brown, Oral Bryan, Tajay Campbell, Jordan Carty, Rashane Carter, Trevion Dennis, Marlando Edwards, Roger Dino Emmanuel, Donahue Henry, Ryan Lindo, Khalil Matthews, Easton Mackenzie, and Richard Sharp. Also, we have Audrey Stewart, Jerome Walters, Jaheim Wollaston, Jason Williams, and Russia. So those are the students of 7S, and your class supervisor or form teacher, your homeroom teacher will be Mr. T. Newby. And I'll ask another member of the teaching staff to assist with this list.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. So I'll be reading the list. I am Mr. Thomas, by the way, and I'll be reading the list for 7E. Form teacher, Miss S. Love, and the names are as follows: Shaquan Brown, Stephen Burrell, Tyrone Clark, Patrick Connolly, Kyle Dawson, Mario Francis, Romario Francis, Rashawn Gale, Henry Grant, Rajay Grant, Devante Hanson, Tariq Johnson, Carl McKenzie, Joshua Sims, Adrian Thomas, Vasani Tracy, Horace Treasure, Nathan Williams. And 7T, form teacher, Miss S. Love.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thomas. And we are working without the headset as it's a little difficult to maneuver as we have to be sanitizing as we move across. All right, so you had 7T a while ago, Miss S. Log, and these are all boys classes. We now move to 7E, and your form teacher will be Miss P. Wright. So 7E, this is your list. Males, Valius Bennett, Romar Campbell, Tyrell Davis, Daniel Duncan, Tyre Hall, Tejana Harris, Anthony Henry, Joe Quayne Hines, Kenardo Hudson, Devontae James, Ranil Joseph, Garnet Ralph, Kemani White, females of 7E, Jada Bernard, Samoya Brady, Victoria Bercliffe, Brittany Byfield, Shavina Coley, Kadeen Danvers, Rihanna Gilzine, Amanda Harris, and Kisana Hills. So those were the students of 7E, and once again, your form teacher will be or is Miss P. Right. All right, we move on to 7R. 7R, co-head group, and your form teacher will be Mr. Scarlett. Teacher, Rick Blake, Devrick Brown, Javon Brown, Tayshawn Davis, Keyshawn Housen, Daquan Osborne, Ranil Reed, Antonia Richards, Orlando Richards, Teroy Timal, Matthew Williams, St. Joseph Wisdom. Females are Ajada Demetrius, Hannah Green, Simone Harris, Rihanna Henry, Bianca Howell, Natajane Redman, Sashana Seymour, and Stephelia Staples. So there you have it, students of 7R, and once again, your form teacher, Mr. Scarlett. 7O.
For 7O, form teacher, Mrs. Anderson Jarrett, and that's a co-ed group as well. The males, Delton Anderson, Tyrese Brown, Daniel Brown, Garland Dixon, Brandon Graham, Danville Hay, Marvin Johnson, Ricardo Johnson, Nathaniel Jones, Kemar Malcolm, Devon Mott, T.J. Phillips. Females, Kenisha Brown, Christina Fisher, Michaela Gallimore, Tyrese Hall, Ayana Hilton, Anelia Jones, Tommy Han Martin, Kadeen McKnight, Raquel Smith, Leanna White. And that 7-0 form teacher, Mrs. Anderson Jarrett. 7W form teacher, Miss T. Myers. And starting with the males, Shaquan Bailey, Akeem Stock, Peter Andre Brown, Marviana Davy, Khalil Kamar, Delano Anderson, Akeem Martin, Deshaun Nemard, Jaheim Osborne, Cale Smith, Tivoy Walker, LJ Walters, Tyreek Wilson. And females, Nerina Dyer, Renisha Gray, Talika Johnson, Shanice Lewis, Sashaya Linton, Tashwani Parkinson, Dejanay Sabaton, Stephelia Staple, Demoya Steer, Kiara Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. New teacher on the block, Mr. Thomas, and you get to know him a little later. And we continue. The new list is 7N. So I hope you're listening and you're hearing your names and you're happy where you're placed and you are having some fun now knowing that your friends and your associates are in your group. And you should have fun not just online, but when you get back, I'm sure you're going to be happy to see each other. But for now, online is the only way we can facilitate you. So we hope that you have fun in this medium as well. Once again, 7N, your form teacher will be Miss D. Williams. And the boys of 7N are Hussein Azan, Jonathan Bosiodi. Pardon my pronunciation of some of these names. I'm not familiar with the pronunciation. I'm really trying my best to get it right. But if you hear me calling your name and it sounds a little as if it's wrong, just don't blame us. So let me try this again. Males of 7N, Hussein Azan, Jonathan Bokodias, Kyle Borland, Ajarno Campbell, Glenn Flower, Revaldo Forbes, Omar Jarrett, Kenroy Lowe, Larry Marvel, DeAndre McFarlane, Tyrese Miller, Anthony Onfroy, Tyrone Robinson, Marquez White. The females of 7N are Farina Garvey, Ashantasia James, Tori Lavia, Kenila Linton, Rohanna Martin, Triana Spaldings, Rikisha Swaby, Carisha Wallace, and Georgette Wisdom. So once again, 7N, form teacher, Miss D. Williams, and it's a co-head group. We move to 7A, and your form teacher is listed also as your grade supervisor. So your grade supervisor is your form teacher. So you will have to be on your best behavior. Miss Lawson is a no-nonsense teacher, so you will have to be really good in this group. Not that you have to, you're not going to be good in the others, but trust me, to have your form teacher as a grade supervisor, you will have to be on your best behavior. So don't worry, don't fret, you will enjoy yourself, but you will have to be on your best behavior. The boys of 7A are Jason Brown, Javier Campbell, Jordan Beeble, Jamaria Ferguson, Dwight Harris, J. Coy Harris, J. Moy Minor, Dante Nicholson, Michael Plummer, Rasheen Robinson, Adrian Swaby, Tyren Timal, Zachariah White, Trevon Williams, and Jahiro Winter. Boys of 7A, Tony and Bridgin. No, sorry, females of 7A, girls, Tony and Bridgin, Takoy Harvey, Rihanna Henry, Michaela Hyde, Sabrina Lyle, Milano Tracy, Gabriela Tucker, and Amanda Williams. So there you have it, 7A, form teacher, Miss T. Lawson. All right, Mr. Thomas, we'll continue with 7C.
All right, for 7C, form teacher, Mrs. O. Green, and starting with the males, Jahil Berwick, Andre Brown, Siobhan Brown, Adoni Campbell, Giovanni Daly, Christopher Perron, Kyle Forsyth, Deshaun Fowler, Dwight Garrick, Duane Goldburn, Nathaniel Hunter, Donovan Jr., Jadon Millen, Garnell Ralph. And for the females, Amanda Adams, Anicia Barrett, Christine Lawrence, Latoya Norvilla, Sidonie Peart, Lysane Sherwood, Natalia Smith, Renee Stevens, Nita Walker. And that's 7C, form teacher, Mrs. O. Green. For 7D, form teacher will be Mrs. Hines Morrison. And starting with the males, Nicholas Hallen, Tyrese Borland, Anthony Clark, Domain Dickinson, Lavon Gooden, Dwight Harris, O'Neill Hemmings, Ortel Johnson, Delana Knight, Alric Lawrence, Rashando Mattis, Darnell Smith, Damian Thompson, Junior Walden. And for the females, Janikia Hashfall, Kimali Brown, Yorkelia Daly, Tashali Freeborn, Anna Hart, Kimari Hutchinson, Kamaya Shaw, Shakira Smith, and Serena Soley. That's 7D, form teacher again, Mrs. Hines Morrison. Back to you, Mr. Clark.
All right, there you have it, the grade 7 cohort and their form teachers. We hope that you are pleased with your placements and that you will make all efforts to learn. We will now move to cooperate with your form teachers and grade supervisors. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Now, Mr. Thomas has multiple tasks. He's now moved on. He has now moved on to continue his afternoon duties for registration. So at this time, we welcome the grade 8 list, and it will be delivered by Miss Cousins. All right. So once again, Miss Cousins, another new teacher on staff, and she will bring the grade 8 list. Yeah.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to start with 8S. For the males, you have Jordan Barrett, Shane Beckford, Kaini Brown, Ronaldo Burbick, Raheem Dawson, Kamor Francis, Jordan Geddes, Theodore Hall, Hakim Hayden, Taj Henry, Tyrese Jones, Kishani Sewell. For the females, you have Michaela Brown, Artoria Brown, Kristen Patterson, Alicia Phillips, Anna Summers, Kimisha Swaby, Satara Wildman, Tonian Williamson. And again, the teacher is Miss S. Garden. Now we'll have Miss Clark to continue with the list.
Good afternoon. So for grade 8T, the form teacher is Miss Kay Stewart, and the males are as follows: Miguel Brown, Antoine Campbell, Tucson Elliott, Rick Gordon, Ronaldo Green, Joshua Hay, Wayne Heldam, Garnet Johnson, Tavon Sharp, Damalie Smith, Isaiah Taylor, and Dante Wilby. The females are Rihanna Fletcher, Nicalia Gale, Tracy Ann Landell, Daniela Murray, Kristen Patterson, Nicola Reed, Kimisha Swaby, and Talicia Tanner. I will hand it over back now to Miss Cousins.
All right, so now we move. Let's start with the males. So let's start with males. Eldine Blows, Nicholas Hewson, Andrew Johnson, Kevon Maxwell, Brandon Milford, Kevin Noble, Jason Robb, Devilio Smith, Marcus Walker, Jaheim Walker, Tan Watson, Wayne Williams, Krishan Wilson. And now for the girls, Omea Allen, Renee Allen, Serena Cole, Brittany Javor, Romana Mackenzie, Christina Paddyfoot, and Shantoya White. And again, this is 8E, Form Teacher Mr. K. Lewis. Now I will move on to 8R with Form Teacher Miss P. Lewis. Start with the males. Eldine Blows, Joshua Brown, Romar Coons, Donaldina Cunningham, Rodine Daly, Cavell Grandison, Zudane Luke, Jonathan Mignat, Sanjay Roden, and Camille Smith. Now for the girls, Ashante Boswell, Romana Collington, Ajodia Grandison, Kasian James, Ajelia Park, Yannick Reynolds, and Kimberly Sr. Now I will hand over back to Ms. Clark to do the rest.
And the form teacher for 8O is Miss H. Brown. And the male students are Tajay Allison, Dejan Isu, Akeem Edwards, Javon Gentles, Michael Jackson, Kijon Monroe, Sajay McLemont, Tavarian Miller, Devon Morant, Nicole Ormsby, Teshawn Park, Trey Stewart, and Ryan Tulloch. The females are Danielle Henry, Avino Leslie, Talia Libert, Therese Perrin, Deandra Ricketts, Roseanne Simpson, Camelia Sterling, and Tanique Watson. And the names I just called, they are the students who are in 8O and the form 8W. And your form teacher is, you will get the name of your form teacher at a later date. So we have the males, Malik Barclay, Ashani Barnett, Ajani Campbell, Oral Douglas, Jadine Evans, Jaim Hyde, Kevada Lynch, Stuart Michael, Demario O'Brien, Shaquille Porter, Jaim Sutherland, Delante Watkins, Garfield Webb, Omar Williams. And the females are Ashley Gaynor, Gianna Henry, Conique Hoffman, Alea James, Giovanni McCoy, and Michaela Smith. And those are the names for the students who are in 8W. Stay tuned for your form teacher's name.
All right, so let's move on to 8N. All right, so the form teacher for 8N is Mr. Elchin, and we'll start with the males. So you have Daryl Allen, Shaquan Brown, Joval Dean, Kimani Green, Michael Harris, Andrew James, Jumani Jones, Rajay Lawrence, Zidane Lewis, Maurice Miller, Kemar Phillips, Jamar Ruthfin, Ayatollah Smith, Siobhan Wright. For the females, you have Safia Brown, Sorian Brown, Tiana Clark, Shauna K. Peart, Kelia Rose, and Osheen Thompson. And again, this is 8N, form teacher Mr. L. Chin. Now let's move on to 8A, where you have form teacher as Mrs. L. Hamilton Lewis. Let's start with the males. Mikel Brown, Denver Duar, Nathaniel Harrison, Javante Lewis, Jaheim Matthew, Regine Mignot, Loranda Richards, Ricardo Stevenson, Jermaine Thomas, Kevin Tucker, Devon Walker, Dimitri Walters, Romaine Watkins, Jadale Williams. Now let's move on to the females. Rihanna Beckford, Giselle Brown, Abigail Brown, Aisha Franklin, Charlene Rose, and Delani. This is 8A, form teacher Mrs. L. Hamilton Lewis. All right. 8C, form teacher Mrs. D. Hudson Goldborn. Males, Rikashi Bailey, Jamar Barrett, Elvis Brown, Jabari Brown, Rashid Brown, Ajari Edwards, Patrick Gale, Ballardo Johnson, Jumani Jones, Tyrone Lateman, Horace McCarthy, Dwayne Park, Giovanni Plummer, J. Dean Ruthfin, and Shadane Watson. And now let's move to Tamara Campbell, Malaya Fraser, Rihanna Reed, and Toya Roberts. And this is 8C, form teacher Mrs. D. Hudson Goldborn. All right, let's move on to 8D, form teacher Mrs. M. Smith Collum. Males, Andrew Brown, Jaheim Brown, Java Brown, Sheldon Dyer, Travis Franklin, Javier Henry, Navardo Hines, Horace Owell, Richards Jobson, Devon Johnson, Deron McDonald, Kewan Peters, Shamar Riley, Jamar Ruthfin, Victor Sorrell, Houstonov Wedderburn. Now let's move on to the females. You have Simone Hill, Adrienne Smith, Naisha Smith, Sashisia Walters, and Shania White. And this is 8D, Mrs. M. Smith Column. Right. Let's move on to 8M. Jamel Black, Nicardo Brock, Peter Andre Brown, Kenroy Brown, Aligo Butler, Sanjay Campbell, Henrik Davis, Jabari Davis, Jamarly Graham, Dexton Hall, Kevin Howard, Joseph James, Andre McNeil, Andre Nartovo, Jordan Powell, Brian Spencer, and Shavar Williams. For the girls, Sasha Brown, Natasha Campbell, Rihanna Edwards, Chantel Lawrence, and Malia Watson. And this is 8M, form teacher Miss S. March. Okay, that's it for grade 8.
All right, so that was grade 8. Thank you. The protocols as we must. So there you have it, grade 8. So I hope you're pleased with your placements and you're ready to work with your teachers. All right, so I will be doing grade 9 and I'll be ably assisted by Mr. Smith column. All right, so we have the grade 9 students at this time. Starting with 9A, your form teacher, Miss Hall, and your students of 9A are Bernardo, Danita Bernard, Raynel Franklin, Damian Gonzel, Levante Hosen, Alonzo Ivy, Ricardo Lewis, Marlon Morrison, Akeem Robinson, Dimitri Robinson, Alex White, and Owen White. So those are the students of 9A. Once again, your form teacher, Miss Hall. Students of 9N, form teacher, Miss A. Mackenzie. Boys of 9N, Onika Black, Joel Black, Shada Brown, Jordan Brown, Giovanni Coley, Andel Edwards, Junior Harris, Gawain Grove, Kevon Francis, Ziki Marville, Carlando McNeil, Jordan Piper, Ricardo Stewart, Zidane Sutherland, Henrik Walker. Girls of 9N, Rihanna Harry, Venetia Holmes, Tashana Marsh, Tonya Bean, Shantae Palmer, Aliana Phillips, Renelia Poiser. Once again, students of 9N and your form teacher, Miss A. Mackenzie. We move on to 9W, form teacher or form teachers, Miss F. Nelson and so 9W, you're fortunate you have two homeroom teachers, Miss F. Nelson and Miss A. Cousins. Boys of 9W, Davir, Ezra Nelson, Roger Richards, Ronaldo Smith, Damaine Walters, Anthony Watkins, Rabino Wright. Girls of 9W, Marcel Francis, Gabrielle Gavidan, Bianca Johnson, Chanel Kelly, Rihanna Lawrence, Daniela Marshall, Rihanna McCarthy, Christina Mills, Danielle Poiser, Renisha Rumble, Felician Wilson, and Renisha Rumble. So those are the students of 9W, and once again, form teachers, Miss F. Nelson and Miss A. Cousins.
Okay, we continue the grade 9, and we are at 9O. The students are O'Neill Mario, Arthur Moses, Shamar Perry, Tyree Rowley, Rochelle Sargent, Javon Simpson, Clifton Smith, Malik Stevenson, Tyrese Thompson, Dwayne Walker. The girls are Brianna Bernetti, Deborah Campbell, Tanise Henry, Atija Johnson, Felicia Martin, Brianna Mason, Tiffany McLean, Mia Moncrief, Denisha Morris, Shantor Reed, and your form teacher is Miss L. Young. We go on to 9R, Mrs. Scott Lawrence. The boys are Janelle Barrett, Osheen Coley, Joanne Debble, Deshaun Francis, Jafana Francis, Jamar Gooden, Cameron Gordon, Alex All, Jaheim Johnson, Denton Jones, and Kimani Smith. Girls, Rioni Balgrove, Rochelle Braham, Alika Campbell, Nashalee Cousins, Elaine Earl, Taniel Gordon, Tuquan Gordon, Samira Grant, Shara Jackson, Michaela Johnson, and Tanisha Chad. PHID. All right. We are now at Mrs. K. Pottinger Gordon. She's the form teacher for 9E.
The females are Aisha Moore Donaldson, Sadiqa Lowe, Kizini McFean, Anne Marie McNaughton, Tashel Moncrieve, Anna K. Pinnock, Joy Russell, Vanessa Samuels, Tony Simpson, and J. Turner. Mikeshi Walker. Yes, that's the last girl. For the males, we have Malik Anderson, Raheem Brook, Javier Clark, Kenroy Folks, Alshane Robertson, Tyler Rowley, Zidane Smith, Jaheim Williams, Shadane Wyndham, Tevon, and Joshua Ryan. 9E, your form teacher, Mrs. K. Pottinger Gordon. We go on to 9T. The boys are, 9T, your form teacher is Mr. A. Brown. Mr. A. Brown, and the boys, Alex Acer, Mikhail Beckford, Nahi Carneal, Christopher Chambers, Tyrone Cunningham, Javon Grant, Clayton Jarrett, Jerry Lewis, Shaquille Mullins, Kaveh Puzzi, Kevon Taylor, and Alex Wines. The girls are Ebony Barrett, Tyler Rose Dixon, Amanda Green, Shanika Miller, Shanoy Snow, Ika Walker, and Latoya Walters. 9T, your form teacher.
Thank you, Ms. Smith Column. Just continuing on the grade 9 list. And let me apologize also for the pronunciations of names. We are trying our best to call some of your names as they are very unique. Your parents really went out to get good quality names, but sometimes they challenge us in pronouncing. So please don't be mad at us if you hear us calling your name in a way that it is not properly pronounced. We are just trying our best to call those lovely names. All right, so we move now to 9S, and your form teacher is Miss A. Gibbs. And the boys of 9S are Akil Andrews, Tayshawn Barnes, Jadane Borland, Kiana Cousins, Danita Edwards, Jaheim Johnson, Kemani McDougall, Jovan Millwood, Roger Smith, and Javion Williams. Females of 9S, Brianna Badro, Alison Ball, Lani Campbell, Jenny Copsey, Gabriela DeLissa, Deshante Gray, Aisha Hamilton, Shaniel Nicholson, Amelia Pink, Elizabeth Piper, Kenil Taylor, and Amoy Thomas. That's in moving you forward. At this time, I will welcome Miss Butler and Miss Adams, who will bring you the grades 10 and 11 class lists.
Good afternoon, parents. So I'll begin the grade 10 class list with grade S. The form teacher is Miss Lang. So we start, Miss Lang. Okay, so we start off with the males. Clark, Jabbar Dixon, Antoine Duncan, Dean Gordon, Nicholas Hay, Cadway Jackson, Tyrese Linton, Romario McLean, Rashane Rudd, Ashari Walker, and Shamar Williams. For the females, we have Andrea Allen, Shaniel Burrell, Regina Carr, Jade Duncan, Tara Lee Gordon, Shanoya Phillips, Shakina Salke, Rihanna Willing, and Sakira Win. And the farm and we continue with 10T, and the form teacher is Mr. Green. For the males, we have Anthony Brown, Raheem Campbell, Cleon Clemington, Nathan Hamilton, Moses Henry, Chris Lang, Marcus Lewis, Damani McDonald, David Morris, Shane Richard, Mario Wright. And those are the males for 10T. Females for 10T are as follows: Kiara Bailey, Casey and Edwards, Brianna Facey, Delisha Fraser, Samantha Matthews, Bataline Pinnock, Cheyenne White, Tiffany Williams, and Jamila Blake. And the form teacher is Mr. Green. Over to Miss Adams, who will continue with grade 10.
Good afternoon, everyone. 10E, form teacher, Miss Godfrey. Anthony Belnavis, Imari Brown, Javier Curtis, Anthony Flowers, Rashawn Foreman, Jermaine Hanson, Brandon Howard, Stewart, Junior Walters, and Romario Wint. Females, Lashante Baker, Yannick Hall, Tiffany Hamilton, Tasha Linton, Adrian Moncrief, Shaquan Rankine, Samantha Scott, Sharomi Sharp, and Ronique Davidson. That is 10E, and form teacher Miss Godfrey. 10R, form teacher Miss Adams. Males are as follows: Nashane Adams, Rajiv Boswell, Raheem Brown, Roy Harris, Raheem Kelly, Tavon Leslie, Tariq McDonald, Jaheem McIntosh, Travis Neal, Gawain Riley, Akil Shaw, Giovanni Thomas, Jerome Watson, and Neandria Wilson. Females, Amelia Brissett, Nia Cameron, Patrice Clark, Venice Hamilton, Brisana Mowat, Sutania Redman, Jamoya Silvera, and Trevanese Wilson. That is 10R, and form teacher Miss Adams.
So now we have 10O, and I am the form teacher for 10O. So the form teacher for 10O is Miss Butler. And the males are Amario Anglin, Tarado Batik, Quahim Brown, Ojay Brown, Javane Dobson, Jalil Francis, Rashawn Harris, Regine James, Oshan McKenzie, Corey Orr, Jovan Riley, Damoy Thomas, Kenil Williams, and Anel Wilson. Females for 10O are Sashay Brown, Zodian Clark, Andrika Gale, Alia Henry, Kedira Neat, Tashira Reed, Kadeen Smith, and Tahira Moffat. Now we have 10W, and the form teacher for 10W is Mr. Thomas. For the males, we have Pemoy Bailey, Namard Brown, Delana Douglas, Shane Ferguson, Rashoy Francis, Antonio Harrison, Joanne Johnson, Jamoy Lewis, Zamir McCoy, Price Pearson, Radane Romans, Devon Basil, Andre White, and Kanil Williams. For females, we have Shenaki Brown, Kimona Clark, Amoy Gilzine, Akeelia Johnson, Abigail Nevers, Renicia Rose, Gabrielle Spence, and Crystal Jones. 10N, we have Mrs. Shand as the form teacher. Males are Ranil Barnett, Rashid Brown, Mika Castillo, Jordan Dupas, Najee Gooden, Jovan Carlton, O'Neill Kelly, Kobe Lindsay, John McLean, Johnny Pink, Shawnee Sewell, Jaden Walker, and Clive Williams. Females are Fantage Duncan, Deshanique Cody, Nicasia Gordon, Katie Johnson, Shamoya Pettifoot, Hanise Royce, Nastavia Watson, by
Let me say thank you to Miss Butler and Miss Adams for assisting with the grade 10s. So they are now off to continue their afternoon duties with registration. I will be with you for the grade 11s, but before I even start the list, let me commend those grade 10 students who took on the challenge of CSEC in the last sitting, and they were indeed successful. Grade 10s who are now, the grade 10s coming from grade 9, you now have the chance to walk in their footsteps. Every year we try with some of our grade 10s, and they have done fairly well over the years. So grade 10s, we're now challenging you to take up the challenge of CSEC this year, as this will assist you in actually graduating with even more subjects, as you can pass subjects in grade 10 and even add more subjects to your listing in grade 11. My social studies grade 10s did very well, and I'm very proud of you. Some of the students, I'll just name them now. Rashina Green, she did well. Alicia Hill, Denzel Masters, and Raheel Walters. They were all successful in social studies CSEC, and I'm very proud of their efforts. We now move on to the grade 11 list, and we start with 11S. Now, your form teacher for 11S is Mrs. T. Campbell da Costa, and the males of 11S are Shakir Anderson, Roger Campbell, Imani Collins, Matthew Gardner, Deshaun Grant, Calvin Hay, Dante Lawrence, Safari Marsh, Denzel Masters, Shamor Scarlett. Tennis girls, Kedisha Dick, Joyanne Francis, Alicia Hill, Charnel Hay, Timon James, Octavia Lyle, Renicia Mayer, Jalicia Matthews, Tiaska McLegan, Donique Murray, Abigail Ricketts, Shania Torrey, and Shadina Williston. Also, Abigail Young. So those are the students of 11S. Once again, your form teacher, Mrs. T. Campbell da Costa. We now move on to grade 11T. Your form teacher is Mrs. S. Thompson Robinson. And the boys of 11T are Joanne Curtis, Solomon Henry, Joshua McKenzie, Tyrese Moncrief, Raheel Walters, Darren White. Girls of 11T, Anicia Alexander, Kimon Burbick, Nashe Black, Tamika Edwards, Trishan Freemantle, Shanika Grant, Sonia Grant, Abigail Lynch, Sarah Little, Alicia McGlashan, Shante McKay, Tanya Mitchell, Janelia Palmer, Alicia Rodney, Nicolette Simpson, Alia Smith, Alicia Smith, Ashanti Thompson, and Mona Shea Wolf. So there you have it, 11T. Once again, your form teacher, Mrs. S. Thompson Robinson. We now bring you the students of 11E, and your form teacher will be named at a later date. Boys of 11E are Rory Cunningham, Renford Davis, Troy Harvey, Ashton Hines, Jermaine Jackson, Shelon Lewis, Romaine Morris, Nathan Nevers, Ricardo Powell, Shamari Small, and J. Dose, Enrique Edwards, Ashtoni Fletcher, Donique Gibbs, Brian Gordon, Merlene Henry, Rochelle Mackenzie, Aisha Mills, Trisha Robinson, Molika Salke, Mika Shaw, Courtney Smith, and Vashina Thompson. Once again, 11E, and your form teacher to be named at a later date. We move on to 11R, form teacher, Miss A. Clark. The boys of 11R are Linton, Zedan Linton, Romaine Marshall, Richard Martin, Delvin Matthews, Daquan Mattis, Rashawn McInnes, Jason Morris, Jovan Somas, NJ Taylor, Amario Williams, Omario Williams, Okil Wyndham, and Wayne York. Females of 11R, Shakina Bernard, Kashiana Campbell, Zoana Ellis, Zoe Hall, Suzanne Henry, Tanisha Onfroy, Alicia Rodney, Shanna K. Taylor, and Rihanna Williams. We move on to 11O, form teacher Miss G. Roach. The males of 11O are Donald Chambers, Deshone Fagan, Juna Hira, Deshaun Mattis, Ravis Mitchell, Shamar McCullough, Kenardo Nain, Damian Reynolds, or Raymond, sorry, Damian Raymond, Matthew Tracy, Javon Tucker. Females 11O, Adelia Collins, Kedisha Davis, Maricia Edwards, Monique Edwards, Savannah Gray, Tishon Livingston, Tia Muir, Tanika Small, Ashanti Tomlin. So there you have it, our grade 11 cohort, and great things are expected of you. CSEC was a challenge, but students with 5 or more subjects, and we want to continue on this trend. So the charge to the grade 11s, you have work to do. SBAs would have started from last academic year, and we hope that you will keep abreast with the activities of your grade and the commands of your teachers to complete your task on time so as not to be caught wanting at the end. It is a short year, and you have already seen we have lost the month of September, and we have already lost a week in October, so there is no time to waste. We're appealing to you. Please contact your teachers. We will be on the platforms soon. Your passwords and your various information to get on the system is now being distributed to you as you hit the ground running so as to mitigate any challenges you may face at the last minute. As we would remind our grade 11 cohort, grade 11 is technically one term. It's not an entire year. As by February, we'll be out of teaching and learning and be in revision mode. So we want you to be on top of your studies and to make us proud come June. I hope you have been enjoying yourselves so far. I will also appeal to those who wish to make comments in the general group to be respectful as well, because we have not just your colleagues and teachers, but it is a public medium, and whatever you say, we wish that you will think of it carefully before you make any postings so as not to be offensive to anyone or to be rude or disrespectful. If there are errors, we ask that you will be patient with us, as we will constantly be upgrading and making adjustments and fine-tuning in the days to come. So please, if you hear an error or if you see a slight mistake, just bear with us. We're putting things together and we will have things near perfect in short order. Registration continues. I hope that those of us who are within the hearing of my voice would know that you should be here today, whether registering or to collect your rental books, that you are here or you are on your way here. Those who are to come for tomorrow and the days to come, please make your way in on time. Those who have outstanding books, we ask that you return those as you actually are holding up those students behind you who would like the services of these books. All right. So we ask that you keep safe, keep healthy, practice all the relevant protocols as stipulated by the Ministry of Health, by the school, and that you will maintain a free and negative status as it results as it relates to COVID. We really don't want to have anyone falling victim to this pandemic, so we ask that you please keep safe. If you're feeling ill in any way or you're unable to make it because of any ailments, please stay home. We will bear with you, and as soon as you're able to come and collect your packages or your books, we will try to facilitate such. I hand over now to our principal, Mr. Monk. Thank you.
Let me use this opportunity to thank Mr. Clark for all that has been done and to thank all our new teachers. You'd have realized that every member of staff who assisted Mr. Clark is a new member of staff, right? And so I remind you that we continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have devotion and we will begin our session at 8:30 a.m. And the Dean of Discipline will be addressing you as well as the apps department. That's tomorrow. Some housekeeping matters. Please be reminded that when you are commenting in the group, whether it be um, uh, whether it be a question that is asked or a comment that is made, keep your comments respectful. You know that there's no place for rudeness or impolite behavior at Steertown Academy. And the Minister of Education, the Ministry of Education, and everybody has been reminding you tirelessly that you are to keep the cyberbullying out of the classroom or out of the institutions. Therefore, those of you who are making rude remarks or comments and those sort of things will not tolerate, because we can identify who you are, right? We know who you are. So keep your comments to yourself. No, rude comments to yourself. Please note that there is no distinction in classes. All the students are mixed. We're all mixed. We have pathways 1, 2, and 3 in every class. So I don't want anybody to say that, oh, I was in 9S and now I'm in 10T. No, there's no distinction. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right across the board. And we're all being taught the same curriculum, right, at different levels. So no one is to complain about, there's no distinction between S and A. No distinction between T and O, right? So let us adhere to that. Everything has changed a bit. Uniform has changed, class arrangement has changed. If I know that some teachers have changed as well, we ask that you just comply with what is there, right? And ensure that you do your work, ensure that you participate as much as possible in what is being asked of you, and that you do your very best. Please remember, parents and guardians, students, that this new format of teaching and learning calls for a lot of maturity on our part, right? So it is not time for us to start wasting time. We waste time on the road, we waste time at school. We can't afford to waste time at home, right? Because it's going to be very difficult, but we are trying our best to make it as easy as possible, right? For all of you, so that we can have a good school year and that you can be as successful or even more successful than those students who did their exams the other day. Again, please remind those students who have left school already, or those who you see sitting at home doing nothing, they aren't a part of any institution, that we have programs designed for them and that they are to make use of the programs that are offered, right? So just want to ensure that everything is done in accordance. For the online classes, remember that you are to have a quiet space at home, a room or a corner of a room where you will, it is your desk or chair or your position in your classroom. And as much as possible, you're asked to keep your cameras on so that teachers are able to see you and to interact with you. You are to ensure that you're dressing uniform, you wear your uniform. If not, you dress modestly, right? And modestly means that you will put on appropriate clothing. We don't want to see any half-naked person. We don't want to see you eating in the class as well or drinking. The rules apply, and tomorrow the dean will walk you through some of those rules, right? So you are to ensure the work that is given, you are to do it. And the smart comments in the classroom, you keep them to yourself. I want to say it again. The smart comments that some of you are used to, keep them to yourselves, because we do have our ways which we can suspend you from the platforms. Yes. So don't think that, oh, you can't get suspension. You would have realized that during the last series of WhatsApp classes that we had in March leading up to June, that some persons were kicked out of classes for days because of unruly behavior. And some of you, well, I had hoped that physical school would have resumed, because I have one or two of you who I really wanted to meet physically in physical school, so we could have a real face-to-face, heartfelt talk. Because I'm aware that some of you don't appreciate anything else apart from a face-to-face interaction. And you know I love the face-to-face interactions, to have discussions with you so I can hear from you what is your challenge, right? Now, for those persons who are not sure of the names or wherever their class have been placed in, this YouTube, this YouTube video, you can watch it 1,000 times. It is there. You can tell others to watch it. So it's not going to be erased tonight or next week. You can watch it, it's the same questions over. Can go back in the group. You can put it up. You can fast forward. You can rewind and those sort of things to get information that you need. Students who are coming to physical school to collect books or other materials, if you have your uniform, you wear your uniform. Otherwise, ripped jeans and halter top and tube top and bottom riders, you know the correct word for that. I say bottom riders and those sort of things, right? You will wear your appropriate clothing to come, because you're interacting with the public. Remember all the protocols, your mask, your sanitizers, you will be temperature checked, you'll be sanitized as well, and we will observe all the social distancing and physical distancing rules. Right? At this time, I'm going to ask Mrs. Pottinger Gordon to highlight some questions that are being asked so that I can answer those appropriately. So students, this is your opportunity to ask questions now, seek clarification on things you don't understand. And I am happy this year that I'm a form teacher. Well, I'm a form teacher for every class, But this year, I'm actively taking on the role of form teacher for 10S. I want to see how that will go. And the guidance counselor, Ms. Leng, will be my assistant. I wish we were having physical school. I so wish. It would be good to see you every morning, to talk with you, to mark your names and for us to have a wonderful time together. I'm sure that we will have a grand time. So, questions and answers. Questions, Mrs. Gordon. Can we see what questions are being asked? On YouTube, they ask about the uniform. I answered that already. I spoke about the comments. If you have not heard your name, it means that you need to call the school, or when you come in on Friday, that can be rectified. So if you have not heard your name, you can have that rectified when you come in. Rochelle Braham says, can you please repeat? Rochelle Braham, you may repeat the video 1,000 times on YouTube. You can watch it tonight. You can watch it with Sister Johnson and others, and your grandfather too, and they can tell you everything that is there. All right? Miss, which class did you call? No. Mrs. Gordon, go ahead.
For Zoom, sir, there are no questions. Whatever questions were asked, I had addressed them in the chat privately and for everyone to see as well. Tia Mackenzie, she shared information concerning the days when students are to attend and also the surname along with the times that they are to come in. So for Zoom, everything is okay. Unless somebody has a question now.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Gordon.
You're welcome, sir.
Is there any other question, comment, or concern? I'm not seeing any more from YouTube here. Just double checking. Novelet Henry had raised their hand. I don't see a question. I just see a raised hand.
One person on Zoom here is asking if parents should be in attendance on given days.
Parents can attend, yes, there's no problem with that. We're trying to minimize the amount of persons that come on the compound. As you know, we have to bear in mind the rule of not more than 15 persons, and we try to space them out by surnames. But parents can come if they wish. I know that for Thursday, when the grade 7s are coming in, I guess that most of them, their parents will come along with them, seeing that that's their first time since their registration really coming on physical campus. But for others who know their way around the campus and know where to find the school, parents do what the government says. Can I yard? And what the government says.
Another person is asking, sir, if they couldn't attend today, for instance, I think grades 10 and 11 attended today, could the code be sent to their email or their WhatsApp?
Yes, you may call the school. Do not call me. Call the school. 917-4309 or 917-4006 and ask for Mr. Yishu. Mr. Yishu, of course, will supply that information to you. Excuse me a second.
The codes will not be distributed here on Zoom. Mr. Hishu has to give that information.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Gordon. The codes are private and confidential. So it's not something that we can broadcast to the entire world. So it has to be that we send it either to your private email, or you come in and get that, or we give you through WhatsApp. But we have to ensure that we are giving it to the persons who are to get it, because we do not want to have privacy issues, right? For the grade 11 students who can't attend school today, is there any way okay, I just addressed that. Good. Any other question, Ms. Gordon?
I would just need to look in the chat and remind them of the days that the grades are to come in.
Yes, what are the days?
Grade 7 is Wednesday, grade 8, Thursday, grade 9, Friday, based on what Miss
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. I stand corrected. Grade 7 is Wednesday, grade 8 is Thursday, and grade 9 is on Friday. So I stand corrected.
For the surname section now, A to F will come 8:30 to 9:30. G to L, 10 to 11 a.m. Then lunchtime would be from 11 to 11:55. Surnames M to R, 12 to 1. And surnames S to Z, 1:30 to 2:30.
Correct. That is indeed correct. Somebody was asking about timetables. Timetables will be issued by Wednesday. We'll get our timetables in the general school setting as usual here. And we expect that by Thursday, Friday, thereabout, you will be having your first class with your teacher in your Google Classroom, because by that time, most of you would have had your ID for your Google Classroom, right? Any other question?
No, I'm not seeing anything else, just misunderstanding.
Okay. All right. So it was a pleasure being with you today. I hope that we're much clearer today than we were yesterday. I want to wish us again a splendid school term, a splendid year. Let us work together, parents and students, teachers. Let us work together very hard so that we can achieve that which we ought to achieve. Excellence. Vanessa Samuels, what about the ID? Persons keep joining ad hoc all over the place and asking the same question we answer 1,000 times before. This is not a scratch CD or a broken record. We said that you need to either come in to get the ID or you call the school to speak with Mr. Ishu. Read the comments. When the meeting is finished, pull up by the entire thing and watch it. Because every time parents call 1,000 times, in 1 o'clock in the morning, they call and ask the same question. The same question that you answer 1,000 times already, they call in for the same question with the same question again. WhatsApp messages are sent out. Those who are not a part of the parent group, get into the parent group, because that is where information is put. We cannot be taking the phone to call 1,000 odd persons to tell them the same thing. Right? We can't be doing that. And I don't know, for the grace of God, why we're so difficult for us to understand these things. These things will make even God spirit vex, man. The same thing a million times. Sometimes I believe the parents worse than the children, you know. Because you're telling me something, oh, me see one message come on WhatsApp, but I never read it. Because I feel like calling to we want you to understand that we care about each and every one of you, but we cannot find the time. Right? We cannot find the time to be addressing each person individually. Therefore, we create groups, WhatsApp groups, class groups, all sort of groups, right? For youth, we have meetings on social media, and we ask that you join in. Don't take for granted that, oh, what me know here, we don't just call. Me have to join some meeting, we don't have to do this, because me don't just call and find out. No. The persons who work here, they are humans too. This morning I was down the general office, and it is crazy. The phones do not rest. And when they answer it, it is the same things that we have been addressing for weeks that parents are calling about and children about. The only way we know when education is working, show that learning has taken place, is when the behavior changes. And so we need to ensure that we get the information, keep abreast of the information, and do not frustrate the system. I'm going to give the parents, again, the number for the PTA president. The PTA president's number. She has the parent groups. and you need to be a part of the parent group. So I'm going to give you again. Please come.
While you're looking for the numbers, sir, two persons had their hand up, Miss Keita Marsh and another person.
Yes.
So when you're ready, you could ask them to go ahead.
All right. The PTA Group President's number is 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 3, 7, 1, 7. You may send her a message or give her a call. Yes, call the PTA president. Call her. Or send her a message to give her your number to put in the parent group. Right? So you get the updates as soon as they are given.
Please, I'm posting it in the group.
The number is 3, 4, 1, 3, 7, 1, 7. Good. Please make note of that number. Right? And you may call her or text her, ask her to add you to the parent group. There are hundreds of parents in the group. And when the messages come in, parents, for the grace of God or by the grace of God, read the messages. Listen to the messages. Right? So that you don't have to be, causing people head to go and to turn grey. That's tell us, I'm telling you, I have to dye my head. Because the whole of my head white off. See the piece of white here, so? And this is the whole of my head stay like now. Because of things like these. Right? So, and guess what? To that one. I sat them dye me hair. Me no want it turn back white too quick for expensive to dye it. I tell you that. And I wear on the market but never find the dressmaker for dye me hair. I know dressmaker, Lord Jesus. The hairdresser. Hairdresser to dye me hair. Just you see, and my head a turn full. Miss Marsh had a question. Who else had their hand up? Question?
It's just Miss Marsh, the other person, I don't know where they went.
Good, then gone. Good. Good, that's good business. They don't have no question to ask.
Oh, she said
Oh,
she
God.
got clarity.
Oh, she got clarity. I thought she didn't ask a question. Okay, good. All right. So school begins tomorrow morning at 8:30. Please ensure that you sign in. Please tell your friends and neighbors, call your classmates, remind them to sign in. Remind them to sign in for devotion at 8:30 a.m. Right? To all the teachers, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your guidance. To all the parents and my beloved students. It was good seeing you. Well, hearing you. I didn't see much of hearing you. All right. I wish you a very good afternoon and that you will go home safely. No, sorry. You're already at home. That you will stay safe, right? And do not do anything that will endanger your well-being or that of anyone else. See you tomorrow morning at 8:30. Right? So we are signing off now. Good afternoon, everyone.